So recently I did an anticipated book releases video, and there are actually a lot of adaptations and video games and anime, TV shows, those sorts of things that are in the works or are coming out soon that I had wanted to discuss in that video as well, but there are just too many things that I wanted to talk about, so I thought I would dedicate an entire video to those things. So I'm going to start with a video game release that I cannot wait for. I'm going to start with two video game releases that I cannot wait for. One of them is just additional content for a video game that I absolutely love, and that would be the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima is coming out very soon. If you have not played this game and you like video games, play this game. That's all you need is a love for video games, because this is the most breathtaking game I have ever played. The graphics are stunning, the video game's music is amazing, the voice acting is amazing, the online gameplay is so fun, the story is magnificent, and then we're getting even more content, both for the online gameplay and then also for the game itself. We have a whole new island to explore. I cannot wait. I am so excited for this to come out. If you are somebody who doesn't necessarily have the time or the console for Ghost of Tsushima, you can just do yourself a favor and watch it online, because it's basically a movie. It's amazing. So please, please, please. I have hyped this up enough to people in my personal life. Because my channel is primarily about books, I feel like I do not get to hype this game up as much as it deserves to be hyped, but people in my personal life hear about this game whether they want to or not. When people come to my house, I make them watch this video game. My poor mom and my friend, I'll be like, you have to see this game. So please check out Ghost of Tsushima. Next up is another video game that I have been waiting for a game like this, I feel like, since Final Fantasy X. The game is Kena Bridge of Spirits, and in the trailer it said that it was going to be released in August, but if I understand correctly, the release date has been pushed back to September. Because this whole video is things that I'm interested in, I know that I'm going to be hyping up basically everything, but when I tell you that it does not matter if you like video games or not, you need to watch this trailer. Just go watch this trailer for this game. I was like, this is the game? Because video games now often get trailers that are beautiful, but they don't really have that kind of cutscene graphics in the game, or it's not an exact example of what you're gonna get with the gameplay. This game, the cutscene graphics are amazing, and then the gameplay graphics are amazing. Aspects of the gameplay remind me of Immortals Fenyx Rising mixed with Horizon Zero Dawn. And then I think that Final Fantasy X just has this whimsical, beautiful, imaginative story and landscape, everything about that game. I just feel like I haven't quite found something like that since, and I am so hoping that this game is the thing that I have been waiting for. It just looks so stunning. The very first game I ever played on the PlayStation 2 was Final Fantasy X. The first game I played on the PlayStation 4 was The Witcher 3. I tend to have great experiences with new games for new consoles, and I feel like this is going to be the game that so many games are trying to live up to. It looks like the release date is going to be September 21st, so fingers crossed it doesn't keep getting pushed back. Jumping into some TV show / adaptation news. First off, The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. I watched the trailer for it. I am so excited. So if you're unfamiliar, there's a lot of different Witcher stories at this point on a lot of different mediums. So we have the Witcher books are the original material that the entire rest of the Witcher verse has been based in. We have the Witcher video games that are incredibly, incredibly popular, and they're what made a lot of people get into the Witcher story. And then we have the Netflix adaptation with Henry Cavill that has become quite popular in and of itself. And this new thing is also coming to Netflix. It is animated, and it follows Vesemir, who is Geralt's mentor figure. I can't wait. I feel like this is a brilliant idea. It's kind of a prequel story. It's following a character that I think there's so much you can do with this character. I remember when I first found out that there was going to be a Netflix adaptation for Witcher, I was hoping that it would be animated because I thought you could do so much with an animated show. It gives me strong Castlevania vibes. And fun fact, the actor for Hector from Castlevania is the one who is voicing Vesemir, so excited about that. And this one is supposed to be coming out very soon. It's supposed to be coming out this month in August. I cannot wait. Our Henry Cavill adaptation, we are getting season 2 in December, and even though I wasn't entirely sold on the first season. There was a lot of things that I was being kind of picky about. I am still very excited for this second season. On the topic of adaptations, I know a lot of you are very, very excited for the Wheel of Time adaptation, and I have been asked if I will be watching that and reviewing that, and the answer is yes. I'm actually really excited because I think that one of the things that is not my favorite about the books, although it's obviously something a lot of people adore about the series, is just how much detail Robert Jordan goes into about so many different things. And I think that in an adaptation, that's gonna work really well because it's a visual thing, and so you don't have to worry about getting through all of these descriptions. It's just gonna be right there in front of you, and that way you can spend more time on the story and the character interactions. And I have had instances where characters have frustrated me in books, but an amazing actor can kind of be charming enough to make me like them, or can execute the role so well that I cannot help but love it. And a perfect example of this is Jesper from Six of Crows, the Grisha adaptation. I loved that actor so much, and so I'm hoping that the actors in the show are going to do the same thing for me for Wheel of Time. I also just think this is a story that inevitably you're not going to be able to stay entirely true to the books, which I don't think is the worst thing, and I think a lot of fantasy fans are coming to expect changes in adaptations, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. I think there's a lot of potential, and in general, I'm just excited that we are getting so many fantasy adaptations. Next up is an anime that I am pumped for. Just like everything else in this video, kind of broken record, but Vinland Saga is officially getting a season 2. I have not done a review for season 1. If you would like my husband and I to review it, he loves Finland Saga. It's one of his favorites, and I think it is spectacular. It is so emotional and heartbreaking, and at its core, it's a revenge story, but I think it's one that just has so much substance. It's very nuanced. It's oddly philosophical. It's stunning. It's beautiful, and also entertaining. It's one of the best animes I have ever seen, and I think that the manga itself is also fantastic. If you haven't watched it before, I would say give it a couple episodes, because the very first part, I would say, feels a little generic, and then once it gets going, you realize, oh, this is something a little different. It just really rips your heart apart. I love it so much, and I'm so excited that we have gotten an official announcement for season 2, even though I don't know exactly when we're going to be getting that season 2. Next up, I just had to mention that What We Do in the Shadows season 3 is going to be released very soon, and it was announced that it's already been renewed for a season 4. They announced that on Friday the 13th, which is perfect. If you don't know, this is a series, mockumentary series, that it's originally from a movie, and then they made a TV show off of it. It's got real people in it. It has vampires who have been alive for a very long time, and they have a human familiar who's basically their servant, errand boy, and it just follows them in modern day, not knowing at all what anything is or how anything works. And it's a mockumentary, so it's ridiculous. And I find the humor to be both very stupid and very clever at the same time. It's one of my favorite shows. If you like very dark, morbid, but also kind of campy humor, and you like mockumentaries, I highly, highly, highly recommend this show. It's so ridiculous. I'm so excited that we're getting another season. For those of you who have watched the show, you will understand what this is in reference to, but recently my mom and I took a little road trip to the Grand Canyon, and we were in a souvenir shop, and I went ahead and bought a keychain that says Steve. And if you've seen the show, you know why I bought a keychain that says Steve.
This one would make a cute gift for a man named Steve.
Yes, but Wallace, what we are here for...
I had primarily wanted to focus on fantasy, but I do want to shout out a couple of TV shows that are sci-fi that my husband and I are also quite excited to watch, I think, like a lot of other people, and that would be Foundation and Dune. I don't have too much to say about these. We're very curious to see how these adaptations turn out. Let me know, out of all the things I've mentioned, what you are the most excited for. Also, because I am excited about all of these, if you have any recommendations for other things you think that I would be interested in, whether they be video games, anime, adaptations, those sorts of things, feel free to leave me your suggestions. I would love to see them. I will have information for everything in the description bar down below. Thanks so much for watching though. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.